Welcome back, Cavalier fans. How have you been? Are you confused about heat cycles? When does my dog get pregnant? How many heat cycles do they have in a year? And what do I do if I don't want her to get pregnant? And what do we do about them not creating a mess? Stick around, I'm going to tell you everything. So it's been a few weeks we took off because we were just enjoying summer. And as you can see, little Bella's wearing a diaper. It's not just because she's a baby. This is because she's actually in heat. She's 9 months old and she just started her first heat cycle, which is typical. So that's why if you don't want your dog to get pregnant, you need to either A, be careful, or B, you need to get them fixed. We want Bella to get pregnant eventually, so we're being careful. We have her in a diaper, and that also helps her to not make a mess because she's still learning how to take care of herself and keep herself clean, especially when she's sleeping at night. So this is what they look like. They come in a couple of different sizes. They come in itty bitty baby size for Bella. They're so cute. So the way these work, Bella, thank you for helping us. The way these work is you put the tail through here, right? So this is gonna go up on the top side and this wraps underneath and then Velcros around just like you would a regular baby's diaper. So these come in, I get them usually in very large stacks so that way they will last me several months. Okay, and then they come in big girl sizes for Rosie. Rosie's a big girl. She's a 20-pound Cavalier. So you can use these for them. Also, another fun thing, I like to use these inside after the diaper's on. If you want to look cute, they've got these and it's ruffles. So the little tail goes through here and it wraps up around. These are adorable. And I got them in tropical print because we live in California. We're festive. All right, so that's how you would protect your girl, either from not getting pregnant because a boy can't get through the panties. Isn't that right, William? William's here, and he has not been able to successfully get through the panties as much as he has tried, right, Bella? Yes, he tried. Another thing I do is when we're sleeping is I make sure that the sheets that I lay down are something that I can bleach out or something I really don't care about that we can just toss. Or I wash them, bleach them, and put them away for the next time. So that's how we keep our girls clean and protected. Next thing I want to talk about is heat cycles and some curious, unusual heat cycles. Stick around for that. All right, so how often does a dog have a heat cycle? Well, of course, that's going to depend on your dog, but I would say most dogs fall in around every 6 months or so. And they usually have their first heat cycle when they're right around 8, 9, 10 months old. Sometimes on the later side, it could be even a year, but expect your dog between 6 to 9 months is typical. And they will have a heat cycle every 6 months or so. So that leads to the next question. When do I get my dog pregnant? Well, what I do, of course, every dog is different. If you really are having difficulty with getting your dog pregnant after my trick, you should definitely see the veterinarian. They have tests they can do that will help you to know when exactly the progesterone rises in your dog. But what I do is the first day that I see the first drops of blood is I start counting. Day 11 is usually when the progesterone rises, and that means that she's going to ovulate. And you'll also notice that the blood is starting to decrease. There's not nearly as much blood as there was in the very beginning. So day 11 would be the time to call up your sire and go, hey, it's time to have a dinner date with our dogs, so to speak. So that's what I do for us. And your dog usually is receptive to that for a couple of days between day 11, sometimes as early as day 10, but usually day 11 to like day 13 And then after that, she's going to lose interest really quick. And your dog's not going to allow your sire to do anything with her until she is ready. And you will notice a completely different behavior in her. We're going to talk about that. Okay, so how do you know when your dog is ready? There's going to be behavioral changes that are quite fascinating. They're going to do this ritual that I call the dance. That's where she's going to get up and she's going to be playfully fighting with him and getting up on him, bouncing on him, and then maybe she'll do a thing called flagging. That's where she's going to turn her behind around and she's going to show him her behind, and she'll even do what we call a flagging, where she'll raise her tail up and over to the side so that he can see that part of her and present herself. That's called flagging. And they might do a little ritual dance where there's a little playing back and forth, and she might present herself, and then as he tries to get closer to her, she'll run away. It's kind of like a little game of chase. Chase me if you really want it. She's going to make him work for it. So that usually will last between, depending how long they've known each other, that could be 5 minutes up to a half an hour, or maybe even more. If they've known each other a while, the girl tends to not play that game as much. She usually just feels very comfortable with him and allows that to progress quickly. So Mia did that the first time with Waylon when they had their babies. She definitely played the game of chase. Chase me, it was very cute. And obviously they eventually mated, because we have William over here, who is from the first litter, and then we have Bella here from the second litter. So what happens if your dog doesn't actually ever present with signs of going into heat? You don't see any blood, she's not swelling down there. What do? I have a very interesting story to tell you. Stick around. So Rosie right here has shown no signs or symptoms of going into heat, and she's way overdue. And Bella has shown her signs and symptoms of heat cycle, right? Oh, that's so sweet, William. What a nice boy you are. We love you. Thank you. Thank you. So last night, she was visiting with Waylon, who is our sire for these little munchkins over here. And she started doing the dance. You know the dance I'm talking about? The one where she gets up and kind of playfully wrestles with him. And then she started showing her behind, and then flagging, and then running away. And I said, wait a minute, I know that dance. She's in heat. How's that possible? She hasn't had any blood. She's not swollen down there. What in the world is going on? I looked it up. There is such a thing as called silent heat cycle, where the girl either has so little discharge that she's able to hide it or clean it up very quickly, or she really doesn't have any. And she doesn't really swell down there either, so there's really no telltale symptoms. The only way you know is, call your sire over. Okay, it's been 6 months, maybe let's see if they do the dance. She did the dance, and guess what? She is pregnant. Rosie got pregnant. So our due date is December 5th. Congratulations, Rosie Posey. They are going to have beautiful, beautiful Cavaliers. He is a beautiful 20-pound Blemon, and she is a beautiful, I would say 20-pound. I haven't weighed her in the last month or so. She's about a 20-pound Ruby Cavalier. So they are going to have babies December 5th, just in time for the holidays, and they can go home right before Valentine's. Is that not amazing, or what? She couldn't have planned this better if I asked her to. So congratulations to you, Rosie. So there's our story. If you are confused, your dog is not having heat cycles, she might just be one of those silent heat cycle girls. I hope you found this information helpful and that you were able to have successful breeding with your puppy. Remember, the most important thing is to wait until they're old enough and make sure that both mom and dad have been tested genetically, that they are not carrying any chromosome issues. They don't. For Cavaliers, their main issue is heart issues, especially the atrium heart valve issue. So just make sure you test them, make sure both mom and dad are healthy. I always like to give my mom and dad a checkup before they mate to make sure that everyone is good. We know Rosie's good, and I know Waylon is good. He's been successful in siring. Where are you going with that, Bella? She's going off with the panties. She's so funny. What was I going to say? Also, make sure you're feeding your lady very well before. I say plan 6 months before you're going to breed. Make sure she's getting the vitamins and minerals she needs. She's getting exercise. Make sure that 1 month before you want to breed her that you stop all flea medication. She's so funny. Bella's a cutie pie. That's my advice for you. And then you just need to start protecting your girl really well. Make sure that you don't take her to places where she could get hurt. I would strongly recommend not using community water dog bowls because they can get a bacteria from that can actually cause a kidney disease. Make sure that you're not taking them to the dog park. This would not be a good time to be in the dog park. She's now going to be in a fragile state. You don't want her to get hurt or to pick up any viruses or bacteria that could be bad for her or for the fetuses. And just create a nice, peaceful, stress-free environment for her. Make sure she gets plenty of exercise and healthy food. I hope you have successful puppies. We'll see you next week where we're going to start following Rosie on her journey through her pregnancy. Take care. Say goodbye, Rosie. Goodbye.